everybody. It's region weather meteorologist Matt Winsworth here on this Wednesday evening. How are you guys doing? It is the middle of summer, getting towards the end of summer, and boy, does it feel like it. It's just kind of stagnant, and this weather pattern that we're in right now is one that is just kind of still. There's not a lot going on, so I'm not going to waste your time. We're going to make this real quick. We're going to get through the forecast, and we're going to let you know when it starts to go on again in terms of the extended forecast. But I just want to thank you guys for spending some time. We'll let a couple other people join. We'll get through our sponsors, and then we'll dive into the forecast here. I am officially on a little bit of a vacation here, and I've lost my voice. I don't even know why. The voice is kind of going away, so I'm sorry if it sounds really, really bad on here. But anyway, we'll get through it. Thank goodness there's not severe weather or something like that. So there's that going on. All right. First and foremost, we'll say hi to our early birds in a second. I see a new early bird on here. Boy, he beat you, Rhonda. In terms of our sponsors here, they keep the show for free, and they're just amazing. They're all local family-owned businesses in Northwest Indiana. Earl's Heating and Air Conditioning, guys, if you need anything done with your AC unit, or maybe you're looking ahead as they are already, they're already doing furnace work. If you need a furnace tune-up or anything like that, they'll take care of it. Heating and cooling is such a thing as a human being. We want to be the perfect temperature all the time, right? So if you have any problems with either your furnace or your air conditioning, go to Earl's. It's Earl's Heating and Air.com or earlsheating.com. They're the most trusted heating company in Cherville since 1976. They've been doing something right. They've been around that long. PublicServiceAdjusting.com is the place to go for all of your local, licensed, insured moms and dads that work as adjusters. What's an adjuster? Well, if you have an insurance claim on your property, you can go to your insurance company and they'll drag their feet. They'll take forever to get you a check, and they'll give you less than what you actually deserve for whatever actually happened. All right, whatever that insurance claim is, whether it's a burst pipe, tree falls on a fence, whatever it is. Or you can go to PublicServiceAdjusting.com. Reach out to them. They'll come out with a licensed insured adjuster. They'll take pictures, document it. They'll send that to your insurance company, and they'll deal with the back and forth with your insurance company. You don't have to do that, and they'll get you top dollar. They're super stubborn. PublicServiceAdjusting.com, the place to go for that. Romans Roofing, they're our Northwest Indiana roofer. If you need anything done with your roof, perhaps you have a leak or you need new gutters, siding, windows, they do that as well. They do it all, and they do it well. Local to Hobart, servicing all of Northwest Indiana, though, providing retail and store restoration options. All inspections and estimates are free. That's awesome. Just get them out, figure out how much it's going to cost you to figure out whatever problem it is, and then you can go from there. All right, pretty awesome, the work that they do, and they have a really good Facebook page as well. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but they certainly do. All right, what else we have? Minogue.life, the place to go. Michael Minogue's been serving Northwest Indiana in the world of Medicare, Medicaid, life insurance for decades. He knows his stuff. If you have any questions around the plan that you have, maybe you signed up for something you don't know the benefits that you have, go to him. It's Minogue.life. You can have a no-cost consultation, sit down with him, and really figure it out. Figure out what plan is for you. It's Minogue.life's the website. Kate Cusack for Ruoff Mortgage. She's our local lender for all your mortgage needs. She's amazing. She'd love to get you in a home before back to school starts. We're running out of time, though, depending on when school starts. So maybe just after the school starts. Maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you're looking for a retirement home, whatever it happens to be. Some people are downsizing too. She'll help you out with that. Kate Cusack, Home Loan Girl on Facebook, or you can give her a call if you want. It's 219-775-6645. We also have Halcyon Water Solutions. They're our newest sponsor. They provide the highest quality water treatment with exceptional service all across Northwest Indiana. From water softeners, filtration, salt delivery, if you need that, or maintenance, they've got all your water needs covered. Call 866-97-WATER to schedule your free in-home water analysis today. Guys, water's pretty important. If your water's yucky or it stinks, take care of it. All right, and they'll help you do that, whatever it happens to be. Maybe your hair's a mess after you take a shower. You need a water softener. Tiger Plumbing, for all your plumbing needs, tigerplumbing.net, the place to go there. They're amazing plumbers. We love them. FBIbuildings.com. If you need a new pole barn constructed or renovated, they'll do that. They've done over 20,000 of them in the Midwest. They're amazing as well. Their Facebook page is a lot of fun. They just do beautiful work. FBIbuildings.com, the place to go for that. T&T Tree Service. If you need a tree taken down, they'll do it safely. If you have maybe some old storm damage from over the summer, or maybe you have a tree that's looking kind of shady, and you're thinking, maybe I'll leave it up for Halloween because it looks spooky, but maybe it'll fall in the house and cause some problems, and I'll need to reach out to PSA. So take it down, take care of those trees, get them trimmed up if they're by the wires, TTTreeservice.com, the place to go. They take care of all that. Great Lakes Lighting, be the envy of your neighborhood with expertly placed outdoor lighting. It enhances security. It enhances the look of your landscaping. Great Lakes Lighting is the place to go to. They're professional and they do amazing work. You can check out their Facebook page as well. LightUpNWI.com is the website there. And then finally, last but not least, Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso. They've been serving Northwest Indiana for decades. They do great work. They do awesome stuff in the community as well. Go to Grieger's if you need a new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram. All right. I'm realizing as I'm talking about this stuff, my voice is really shot. So I'm so sorry. I don't know if you can tell. It sounds awful. It feels awful. So we're going to get through this as fast as we can. Our early bird tonight is George. George, congratulations. You were first on. Thanks for joining us on our YouTube channel. I do appreciate your time. I won't waste your time here. Rhonda, hello to you. Jeff, hello to you. Mary's with us. Jan got her new fan. I'm so glad, Jan. It makes such a difference, doesn't it? I'll tell you, when you move that air around. Emily, thanks for joining us. I appreciate your time. Rich, hello to you. Chris is with us tonight. Susan's with us over on YouTube. Appreciate having you. Jenny's with us as well. Hello. And Shelly's with us. Hi, Shelly. All right, let's get started on your forecast. So what I want to highlight in this forecast is we know we've got the heat and humidity, but how long does this last? And when is our next chance of storms that's going to impact kind of what you're doing day to day, right? So here's the big picture right now across the Great Lakes. And we still have a little bit of wildfire smoke in, but we've had greatly improved air quality. It's not perfect, but it's better than where it was as the smoke's kind of dispersed in a couple segments. So we're not dealing with that, at least on a large scale anymore. What we do have is these pop-up showers out in areas of eastern Indiana and western Ohio. Those just continue to go. There's very little movement, and they're not really that big. There's not a lot of moisture available. The relative humidities are very low. And then we've got this system here coming in from the west. There has been some shower activity with it, so we'll keep an eye on that this evening. But for us this evening, for our evening plans, our Wednesday evening plans, we're just going to have increasing high clouds. Should be a pretty nice looking sunset with these high clouds moving in. And you can see the lake breeze boundary there that developed today with just a few high puffy clouds, but really not much going on weather-wise. We're going to keep our eye on this area out towards our west. It's produced a little bit of light rain. This may slide through with a little rain overnight tonight, so don't be surprised if it's wet. If you do have things like, maybe the patio cushions are out, and you usually bring those in when there's a chance of rain. Something you want to do tonight. It's going to get a little wet outside. If you leave your windows down for some reason in the car or the house, you might want to put them up tonight because we got a little rain coming our way. This pattern continues to be kind of stuck because there's no real driver of the weather systems across the country. All the true movement is way up in Canada. And so we've got this ridge that we're dealing with. That's why we've got some warmth. We were in the mid 80s today. We'll do upper 80s tomorrow, and then we'll end up getting in the 90s probably Friday into the weekend. So we've got some warmth coming our way. Very typical of August. August, we average in Northwest Indiana, we average 390 degree plus days around here, which doesn't seem like much, right? And I think we'll do that over the weekend, meaning, if climatologically speaking, we're good, we would be done with 90s for the rest of the month. But that's not usually how it works. But we do average 3 of them for the month of August here locally. And we'll get them with this ridge as it kind of pokes into Northwest Indiana over the weekend. The next major weather driver is this low up in Canada. This is all the way up to Saturday by the time it gets moving anywhere close to us. And so as a result, this low will head way off towards our north. So we're not talking severe weather or anything like that. But what it has behind it is this kind of cold front that drags across the northern tier of the country. And as a result, what we'll see are showers and thunderstorms daily along that. Eventually, those storms will make it into our area, and they'll bring that brief cool down that I posted about, I think it was 2 days ago, that we were talking about some slightly cooler air working in here. And it's with this area right here. Notice how the ridge kind of backs down, heads out towards the west. But all indication is as we go through the rest of August, that ridge builds back, and perhaps it builds back in a bigger way once we get to like August 18th, 19th, 20th. So we're looking at some more heat around here where we jump back into the 90s. And then after that, I really don't see much change to our atmosphere until perhaps some kind of trough that's off the west coast by the time we get to August 21st would transition in here, and that would get things moving again. But overall, pretty stagnant month and a pretty stagnant pattern around here. So in the near term, I do want to show you, there's your shower chance that comes in tonight. May have a little rain around, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Then it should be out of here. And then tomorrow afternoon looks okay. Exception, though, we're going to have this kind of frontal boundary off towards our north, and as a result, we're going to pop some storms along that. And it's interesting because I haven't seen anyone that's had storms in the forecast for Thursday into Friday, and I mean like Thursday night into Friday all week. And now the weather service is starting to show that up in the grids. But we've been talking about this. If you've joined us on the radio side, we've been talking about the threat of storms Thursday into Friday all week. So I don't know what everyone else is looking at, but now the HRRR is starting to show it. And you can see there's going to be this little disturbed area of moisture and some storms that move through. And this has been showing up in the modeling. So again, I don't know why it hasn't been in the forecast that you're probably seeing. But you can see there that we do have a risk of some storms around here Thursday into Friday. Not a slam dunk, but they'll be around as this frontal boundary kind of drapes to our north and tries to make it through. And that front, once it moves through, we're going to have more humidity around here. That humidity really spikes, and we'll have that heat for the weekend as well. So the Euro starts to show that as well. So we've got just a slight chance of a storm during the day tomorrow. The better chance is tomorrow night into Friday. You can see how that moisture is lingering off towards the north, says the Euro. And then this weekend looks dry on Saturday. Sunday, this front starts to approach, but it's going to stall off to our west. So depending on where this front stalls, if it stalls over us on Saturday into Sunday, we would have storms that would move in, and then the next day they would pop right over us, and then the next day they would pop right over us. But the Euro is holding it off just towards our west, so I would put about a 30 to 40% chance of storms in here on Sunday. Bulk of it is going to be west. Best chance is going to be in Illinois. But then Monday, you can see how that front still hangs out with showers and storms along it, just off towards our west or just clipping us. Again, the placement on that isn't always perfect in the modeling, and so we may end up getting a couple days of storms in here. But we need the rain. Again, after going, with the heavy rain about a week and a half ago, we've gone dry again, so we could use the rain. Best chance of rain on the Euro is Tuesday, and so I would increase those chances Sunday, Monday, with about a 40% chance, and then Tuesday I would probably go 60 on that. And then you can see how after that pushes through and we get that brief area of cool air, and then we go back to kind of a stormier pattern with another front hanging out once we get towards the following week in August. In terms of temps, and this is the last thing I've got for you, I'm going to save you with my voice, and I also don't want to waste your time. So if you guys have any weather questions, throw them in the chat now. I'd be happy to answer those here. But let's talk about the temperatures here. Nice warm up over the next couple days. I mentioned mid to upper 80s tomorrow. We may overachieve on some of these numbers too. So we'll go mid upper 80s tomorrow, near 90 on Friday, and then into the 90s or near 90 degrees over the weekend. So nothing too crazy. But this weekend, that humidity really ramps up, and so it's going to be back to that kind of tropical feeling again once we get to the weekend. How can we tell? Well, we could look at the dew points, or we could look at the overnight lows, and you see those overnight lows are in the mid-70s, so that tells you that humidity's back. We do get that little brief shot of some drier air. That brings our lows back to the 60s, not quite as cool as what we were looking at a couple days ago, but still a nice shot of cool air next Wednesday, Thursday, and then that heat comes back as that ridge builds back in. So as the kiddos may be going back to school the week of the 20th, it does look like it's going to be kind of hot around here, which typically is what it's like when the kids go back. Some kids are actually going back this week. Not very many of them. I think most of them are back the week after that. But anyway, so getting kind of warm around here and kind of stagnant. Not a lot of movement to the atmosphere here in the month of August. So there's that. Chrissy's going to the Bret Michaels concert. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, I just remember, Chrissy, that reality show. I don't know why I watched it. I did. But anyway, listen, the chance of storms is low tomorrow, but it's there. I don't want you to get caught off guard. What we're going to be watching is off towards the north and the west, okay? So keep an eye on the radar north and west. We'll be able to tell what's going on with that, okay? Ashley asking, is there any severe weather? Ashley, I don't see anything severe. We may have a stronger storm or two Thursday into Friday with that system. I really feel like most of that is out towards the north, so there's that. Shelly, thank you very much. Yeah, the throat's fine. It's just the voice has kind of gone away. Too much screaming. We did have a family softball game, and I was hooping and hollering for that. So maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure. Yeah, Jacob, I'm not seeing not much of a severe threat with this. Even for your plans on Friday, I don't see a whole lot about that, okay? Ashley says your kiddos go back the 13th. There you go. So that's going to be, Ashley, the first 2 days of school are going to be pretty comfortable for them. That's when we get that quick hit of some cool air around here. So not too bad around there. Yeah, so Chrissy would be later in the day. So yeah, I'm not looking at anything during the day. Afternoon would probably be good as well. It would be more towards evening that we'd be watching anything moving in from the northwest. And we do have a good idea on Saturday. Yeah, the air show's already on Saturday. I should know that. Saturday, we're gonna have. It should be dry on Saturday. That's what I'm looking at right now. Boy, we've had some rain the last couple air shows. Or if I just remember like low clouds for one of them, and then we had heavy rain for the other one. It was like a washout on the Sunday. But anyway, yeah, Saturday looks good for the air show. Big storms off towards the north. It's Sunday that we would increase that chance of storms. Not a slam dunk, but yeah, Saturday looks good. Jan, I remember when you mowed last week. I don't know why I know your mowing schedule so well, but I think you said it on here. In terms of mowing, Jan, if you want to avoid the humidity, you want it to be kind of comfortable when you mow versus how bad it's not going to get that bad, but it is going to get a lot more humid this weekend. I would do it tomorrow if you get a chance. You know, Thursday, Friday, or Thursday evening into Friday, you're kind of playing around with those storm chances. So there's that. Susan, I will. I'll do exactly that. Thank you. She says, I have some hot tea and lemon. I think I'm going to head up and do that. Thanks, Jacob. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was last year, Chrissy. I thought so. I remember forecasting for that. Yeah, Rich, the days are getting shorter. I know we can tell that sunsetting a little earlier. You know, we're down to about 2 minutes per day that we're losing, so there's that. Jacob, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. After yelling all night at the haunted house. Boy, that season's coming soon, isn't it? Derek says cut the grass in the early morning. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Once the dew is off, if there's any dew, obviously you don't want to cut wet grass. So there's that. Thanks, Chrissy. I appreciate it. Jan, thank you as well. All right, guys, we'll let you go here tonight. I appreciate spending some time with me. We'll have some more active weather soon, I promise. Enjoy this weather while it lasts. As meteorologists, we tend to enjoy these quieter patterns that we have around here because we know what's coming. There's some very active weather in fall. There's very active weather once we get to September often too. So we'll see what happens. All right. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks for spending your time with me tonight. We'll